So it's pretty hard to live long in West Virginia and not appreciate how much it rains. And so water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia. And certainly some of its most remarkable places are its rivers. When we think about places like the New River or the Gauley River or the Cranberry River. Then when we couple that with some of the major river systems like the Monongahela River and the Kanawha River, places where historic conduits of coal and steel and major economic drivers in terms of industry development along the canal. So rivers are a huge, huge component of the West Virginia landscape. Most people don't think about the importance of rivers and the water in rivers for power production. We typically think, the first thing people think about is hydropower, so a dam and the Hoover Dam producing electricity. But there's a reason, there's more than one reason at least, why there are so many electrical power producing facilities in West Virginia. We're close to coal, which is the predominant fuel source for those, but also they're lined along the rivers. The rivers are essential in power production and the production of steam that ultimately produces the electricity. And it depends on the facility, but some facilities are more efficient than others. But the typical ratio that people look at is it takes about 80 pounds of water for every pound of coal to produce electricity. And so it's a major, major asset in our state and a resource for a lot of different industrial sectors.
The one thing I do remember about it is that I was over at the state capitol earlier that day. We'd had another freelance reporter was coming into work for us to cover the legislative session. Of course, the State of the State from Governor Tomlin was just, I believe it was the day before, actually. So I was over at the Capitol, and I remember coming back and smelling something in the air, but not really thinking anything of it. I think that, at that point, no one had any clue. Surprising enough, the instinct didn't kick in for everyone in that area immediately, but I remember coming back to the station, and a few hours later, we found out. And then the West Virginia American Water, and the governor's office issued the do not use notice, or the ban on using using the water for anything except to flush the toilet or to put out fires.
I think that the history of what happened, right, and 2 years ago, and other things that have been going on in this, whoa, okay? You okay?
I stepped on your lines.
It's okay. We're good.
Yeah.
The countryside is so beautiful here, and when we were thinking about what kind of censored journalism to do, water was definitely it. I mean, it was so fresh in the mind at the time that happened, and there are other things going on with old abandoned coal mines and fracking now, where water is just so important and interesting, and it's time where here in West Virginia people are interested. They're interested, and this might give them a little bit of control, a little bit of understanding. But this whole project, what's going on here, was all because water is so important to this community, and because there have been some pretty big accidents and problems, and it was definitely top of mind when we chose to look at water and not soil or air or other things.